Hi, this is Christopher James with All Things Branson, and we are at Juicy Smoothie with Mayor Best joining us here today. Hello.
How are you?
I am great. It's been about a year since we talked. Remember when we did that?
It has, and I've been following you all over the world.
Oh yeah, we
How
get to travel.
fun.
We get to travel all over the world and stuff with the kids and stuff. So.
I know. You know, that's good when you're busy.
But you are really busy. You're like out and around here in Branson and stuff, and you go to shows all the time. You're just telling me you're at the showboat for the big travel south.
It's 2017. You know, the season just started, and I've already been to 3 shows.
Yeah.
I added up last year, and I went to 33 shows.
33. And that's what I was going to say, is that you do, I know a lot of people appreciate you do this Mayor's Week in Review, okay? And every time you're like posting all the shows you go to, or you go to different public events and stuff like, so you're very, very involved.
Yes.
So you're not just, I won.
Yes.
The mayor.
I try to be, it's very rare that I ever say no to an appearance. Sometimes I've already got something booked, but you know, I think it's really important. If you just sit in the office, you don't have your pulse on what's going on in the community. Right. And when you're out and about, people feel that you're approachable, and then they're willing to share the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah,
you know?
And they do.
And they do.
I read it online. I know that people share a lot of.
Yes, and I want them to, because you know, it's the old adage: you can't fix what you don't know is broken.
Yeah, right.
You know, so if you don't know there's a problem, you know, people assume you know everything, and you can't know everything.
Yeah.
And so, you know, part of being a mayor is surrounding yourself with the best people you can to get jobs done. Because I have to tell you, I've learned a lot about water and sewer, but you don't want me making sure your toilet flushes, because it's way out of my wheelhouse.
I remember when we did the Kids Connection interview with you, with Cashton, and I think you were talking about that.
Exactly.
I had to learn about it.
Because people don't know that you have to know those types of things, and because if somebody's water's not running or toilet's not flushing, trust me, they let me know really quick.
That's kind of a question I have for you, because online, we're friends on Facebook, so I constantly see that people tag you in every issue that goes on.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things.
And I love
it. Yeah, and you always respond. That's like the best part, is I always go and look and you respond to stuff. But I mean, I think sometimes people overestimate what you're in charge of.
Exactly. I'm like, wow. It's funny because somebody the other day was talking about the advertising on AARP.com website.
I know what that is. Always ask for reduced prices.
That's it. That's it. And so it sounded like they assumed that I had something to do with the AARP advertising on their website, and I was like, wow. You know, I got nothing on that one.
Right.
So,
because I see you tagging things all the time.
People
for that
do
sort
think
of
that you know everything about everything, and there's just absolutely no possible way that you can.
Right.
But you try to learn as much as you can, and if there's something that comes up, you know, I love to go on Google and start researching and trying to find out. And I have to say, the Board of Aldermen that we have right now, it does an amazing job as well. So, you know, they all have their strengths. Alderman C and Alderman Simmons, their strengths are contracts.
Right.
So I know
there's a lot
if
of contracts
I miss something, they're going to catch it. And so, you know, it's very, very good to have that. Alderman Hart and Alderman Castellan, their strengths are being out in the public, kind of like me, that cheerleader, that rah-rah, that making sure that they're talking to people and seeing people. So that's their strengths. And then Alderman Booth, his strength is in finance. And then Alderman Todd, his strength is in risk management. So when you have a well-rounded board, it makes it really great. It makes my job a whole lot easier. So there's some other seats that are up for election too. So
yeah, there are. I see the signs all over the place.
Yes. So I've endorsed Alderman Kirsten Hart for Ward 2 and not Alderman yet, but Kevin McConnell for Alderman Ward 3. And so
I've never heard that word alderman before I moved here.
Well, it's either city council or alderman, and we are an alderman, and I don't know why. That's a good question. I probably should research as to why we are.
Why don't you know that?
I got nothing on that one too.
At least when you respond to things, if you don't know the answer, you always say, "Here's where you can get it," or "Contact this."
Yes. I don't know this one, but here's someone who can probably help you find the answer.
Right. Go to Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, that's a...
Maybe not.
That's a good one. I'm surprised I haven't made it to Wikipedia yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you will.
Oh, yeah.
We'll set it up for you.
Oh, thanks.
They'll set it up.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
We got a lot of vocal people.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah.
But when I talked to you down at the Black Oak here, we were talking about all the things that were going to be opening in Branson, and a lot of them have.
Yes.
We have the Fritz.
Yes.
And we went. We took the kids there on opening night. Have you done it all?
I've been there. I haven't. I have 2 bone-on-bone knees, so I don't get to do the really fun stuff.
Yeah, you didn't crawl through the sewer?
No, I didn't crawl through the sewer.
That's our favorite part.
Once again, we're back to sewers again.
You're always in the sewer.
I know. I'm always in the sewer. But Fritz's has come, Ozark Mountain Coaster, Ballparks of America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're big with the ballparks. Because the day we interviewed you for Kids Connection, you were headed there to throw out the first pitch.
Yes. And we just got to town, and this came off of a cold call by Hamilton Chang, which I'm so excited that cold calls still work. We landed the Cal Ripken 70 series, and it's 8 international teams from Japan, Taiwan, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, and I can't remember the other 2. But they're coming, and then also 16 U.S. teams. So the 8 international teams stay at ballparks. The 16 teams stay in the hotels around town.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a huge draw.
Have you seen
for
the
us.
Japanese kids play?
Oh, yes, I have.
Crazy.
They are.
Because I played a lot when I was younger. And
I had the opportunity to have dinner with the ambassador of Japan.
What?
He came to Branson, and we had dinner at Top of the Rock with Representative Billy Long. He brought him here. And so we've been talking about having a sister city that's a baseball city so that we can team up with Ballparks of America and the teams that are in Japan.
Oh, that's neat.
So that was really an awesome evening.
Were they impressed by Top of the Rock? Because it is amazing.
They loved it. I think they had a preconceived idea of what the Branson area is like, and I always love when we get people here and they have that preconceived idea and they're just blown away. In fact, Saturday night, Say Yes to the Dress was about Matt Ginelli with the Golf Channel.
Yep.
He got married, and he got married at Top of the Rock.
We just read the article this morning because it's in Bride Magazine or something.
Yes, and it was beautiful. The coverage they did, the camera crew did a phenomenal job of highlighting.
My sister-in-law is getting married, and just this morning we saw that article, and she wants to get married there.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, well, you might want to think about this. Look.
Yes. And just this past week, I met with some investors that came to town looking at Branson, and the things that they're looking to bring here are in the multi-millions. In fact, there might even be a $1 billion in front of it.
Is it Richard Branson?
No, it's not, but it's somebody that has the quality that's a billionaire. And, in fact, I've been told that they could probably write a check without even asking for $10 million.
That's great.
And
see, that's what I like about you is that I always see you, even when you're in Vegas and when you're out and around, like you're always meeting with the tourism boards, it looks like, and that sort of thing.
Yes.
And how closely do you work with like the chamber and the CVB and all that? Do you work very close with them?
I work closely, I'm going to say that very loosely, closely with them in the fact that, if there's something that I see that wants to come to Branson, Jonas Arges from the Taney County Partnership, I'll get together with Jonas and say, okay, I've talked to these people, I've teed it up, I've set the stage, now, go get them and
because I see a lot of things where people have issues with stuff going on with the chamber, and they always drag you into it. And so I was just curious.
Exactly.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking, what would she have to do with?
I mean, people are, sometimes they're wanting us to fire someone. We have no control over that because they're a separate entity and they have a board. And so we have a contract with them. It would be like me having a contract with you. And if somebody came and said, I want you to fire Christopher, I'm like, I have no control over that. You have your board and you report to your board of directors, and your board of directors is reflective of the community. And so, really they need to be talking to that board of directors. Is who they need to be talking.
You always point them in the right direction.
Yes, I try to. I try to. It doesn't always work, but, that's the chain of command that goes there. So,
well, there's been a lot of business though that the Chamber's brought in that you had told us about. All the development with Fritz and the coaster. We love the coaster, by the way.
Yes.
We ended up spending like 4 hours there filming with them, and the kids had a great time and stuff.
Kids love it. Adults love it.
Yeah, they do.
I think the adults love it as much, if not more, than the kids do.
I'm not a big coaster guy, and so we met with them and they said, "Oh, we'd like to do a little spot with you for the kids' TV show." I ended up riding that like 5 or 6 times. It's the most I've ever been on a ride.
Going. Mm-hmm. Did you use the brake or?
Very little, because I was with the kids and we had the camera on us. And they were yelling at me to stop hitting the brakes, and so that was fun. And you know how they take your
like
picture?
Kid pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Peer pressure from a 4-year-old.
Yes, exactly.
But you know how they take your picture on the way down? They ended up sending it to me because it's me shrieking and my daughter just smiling and smiling.
I love it. But how much fun is that?
It is fun. Like, it's crazy.
You're creating memories with your kids.
Memories worth repeating.
Exactly.
Like Silver Dollar City.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about. I mean, we want people to go home and sit around the table and talk about all the fun they had in Branson, and have them say the next year, where do you want to go? Well, we could go to Orlando. No, I'd rather go to Branson.
Right.
One of my friends brought his, it's either 6 or 8 kids. I can't remember how many he has.
He probably doesn't even know at that point. You lose track.
It's 8 now because they just had twins. So that's, and they asked the kids, we're going to take you to Disney World in Orlando. And they go, well, we'd rather go to Branson. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, because we traveled a lot. You said you were watching us on the Facebook, and I think we had like 7 vacations this year, just taking the kids and filming. But we went to LA, to Disney, we've been to Mexico, Brazil, and we went to Florida. And Branson really does have a lot of the same things that we did there, because we would be at these vacation resorts and stuff, and the kids would want to zip line. I'm like, seriously? Like, we can zip line every day.
Yeah, we got that. Mm-hmm. We have a rule in my family that we don't go eat anywhere that we can get at home when we go on vacation.
Oh, right.
So it's very rare that we will go somewhere that we have, unless we have to.
And we don't even go like to Olive Garden and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you can't do that. So, and so that's how I kind of find some things that I'd love to go after. One of the entities that we've been talking to for the last year and a half probably is Topgolf. I would love to get a Topgolf here. It's almost a driving range game facility for
like a virtual reality one.
No, it's you actually hit it out, and they've got these circles, and the flag's in the middle of the circle, and there's baskets around the circle. So depending on where you hit it is how many points you get.
Oh, I see.
And so it's really fun. It's my family. That's our new Christmas Eve tradition. Yeah. We go to Topgolf in Scottsdale, Arizona on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So I would love to get one here. So we've been in talks with them. And
I know what you need here. I'm going to say it. I've been keeping it a secret.
Go ahead.
Because you know how Branson is. If one thing opens, we get 5 of them within a year. Indoor skydiving.
We've been talking about that.
Right down at the landing by the fountain, like where they usually have the Christmas tree. It's a giant cylinder,
Yes.
And
Frisco, Texas is the one I went and looked at.
We do the one on in Hollywood. There's one in Hollywood when we're there. When I work at the Magic Castle, and everybody gathers around and they watch it. And the kids did it. We featured it on a television show. And I think it's amazing. I'm surprised we don't have it.
I'm surprised we don't too. Yeah. I'm surprised somebody hasn't done that.
Now we're going to have 5 of them.
But I do know a couple people that have talked about it. Now this year we have the jet boats coming in, which has been a little bit controversial, but I do want to let everyone know that we are being very vocal about where it should take place, where it shouldn't. It's going to be on Taney-Como.
Oh.
And so we've asked them if they would go slowly past Kanakuk and then start the tricks out in where there's no homes, there's no docks.
Right.
So that's going to be a fun ride for people. We did see that in Wisconsin Dells.
I've not seen that.
It was very fun. The owners went above and beyond and bought a boat that is less noisy. In fact, a bass boat is noisier than this jet boat. So they just row it? Yeah, there you go. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But that'll be a fun addition. And there's just so many great things that are just this close to being announced. I'm keeping in touch with the Grand Palace folks.
Oh, yeah. I see there's a lot of development there and at the Grand Village.
Yep. Yeah. So it's it's just really a fun and exciting time to be in Branson. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and
The one thing I do miss that I wish we could get is what brought me here.
Burger King. I wish we had a Burger King.
Craftsmen.
You
know,
this year
the craftsmen are, it's a dying breed. The people, young folks are not getting involved in glass blowing and quilt making. And
but we should do a shout out that this year at Silver Dollar City is the year of craftsmen, food and crafts.
Yes.
And so they're devoting like the whole year to that.
I know, and I don't want to lose that because that's what's made us so unique. And so I just hope that the younger kids will pick that up and not let that die.
And we should tell them that over at the mill, we have a magic shop over there. Check it out. But there are craftsmen over there, and you can go over and
Rattlesnake
you can learn.
Eddie is amazing.
And then they have woodworking.
Yes.
Like you can go and take a little class and stuff and learn how to do the woodworking and stuff. And there's sewing and there's all kinds of scrapbooking things and stuff.
Yes.
And so for the kids show, we're going to start a little segment, our enrichment segment, where we go around to things.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're going to go to the art parties tonight. Have you ever been there?
No.
Yeah, you can go there with a group of people, and we did it for the kids' birthday. They do kids'
Where
birthday
is that?
parties. It's in Hollister, actually, by Harder House.
Okay.
But you go in, we took the kids, we had like 15 or 20 kids, and they have an art instructor, and they teach them how to do paintings, and it was a whole birthday party. It was so much better than like Chuck E. Cheese. and
How
stuff.
fun. That's a great idea. I'm
But they have
constantly...
wine and art nights, so a lot of my wife's friends go over.
that's not good for the kids.
No, not good for the kids.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, disclaimer, not for the kids.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But
people are always asking me of unique things to do for kids' birthday parties, so I'm gonna have to put that one in my
We're doing a whole episode about that.
in my toolbox. That
Good.
one's going in there
Because
How
it's a lot of fun.
fun.
And I think there's Saturday morning classes. That was on our first episodes of Kids Connection on the Vacation Channel. But they have a morning kids class. And so I met
fun.
kids in there that go every week, and they said they have a wall at home of all the artwork.
Oh my
that
gosh,
they did.
that is awesome! I'll have to remember
it
that.
out,
I'll go check it out someday.
We try to do unique things with our kids because they're a little jaded here in Branson.
Yeah,
because they get
yeah.
to do anything.
Yeah,
So-
when you live, work, and play in the playground, I always tell people, I feel like I'm on vacation every day just driving to City Hall because I go across like Taney-Como or, it's just like, oh, I have to go work over here and I get to see the lake all day.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the saying of all
Yeah.
things Branson is our life is your family's vacation. So,
exactly. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, don't steal that. TM. I trademarked it right now.
Our life is your family's vacation.
Yeah.
I like that. I will definitely.
No, TM trademarked.
I got
Don't
it.
steal that.
I'll be giving you. I'll be giving you credit.
And what
for
do
it.
you, just real quick, because I know you have to get going to some other things, but what do you think about, I have an issue with businesses that come in. So we have a successful, we talked about this before, zip lines. And within like a few weeks, there's like
12.
Yeah. And it kind of dilutes down the market. And then that
It does.
kind of has to go away and stuff. Like,
It
I mean, you
does.
can't really discourage somebody from coming
you
in. but
can't. And I
don't want to.
the
It's
free
good for
market does that.
Yeah.
It controls your
does.
growth. It's not me, but if somebody comes in and talks to me ahead of time, if we already have several, or even if I know of several that are coming, I try to help them with their due diligence. Because the market can only handle so many, and then it becomes saturated.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
that's where we're finding ourselves with the motel rooms, and that that we're saturated with the hotel rooms. So you really try and help guide them to make the best decision, and so they come to Open for Business first at City Hall, and so that's a time where you can kind of say, have you thought about this or the other? We never discourage anyone from coming
No,
here,
of course
but what we do is we share information with them that will help them in making an informed and intelligent decision.
Because I always feel bad for a unique business
Yes.
that opens.
And then somebody else comes and
like
duplicates.
a year later, it's an exact copy
Now,
of it.
I will tell you that Jonas Arges from Taney County Partnership has a term that I use
You should
very
trademark
willing
it.
it.
You seem to be
I
taking my
should
terms.
trademark it.
TM.
We go on R&D trips, and in the business, that's research and development.
Right.
In Jonas's world, it's rip off and duplicate.
Yeah.
So I love doing those because there's lots of things that folks have at other destinations that we don't have. And we can sometimes tweak that to where it's unique for our community and it's not exactly the same thing that the other group has, because we don't want to do that as well.
Right.
But if we can take their concept and just change it for what we are, it makes it a lot better.
No, it's
but
not quite
I
the same
agree.
as going into Branson's not that big. And so I always joke around in my business, if I do a bit or a joke and then it's in another show, a few weeks later I say, you're in the same town. It's not even like you're in Vegas or St. Louis.
Exactly.
You know, it just kind of bothered me. And also I read that a lot of people wonder if we have incentives for businesses to come. They don't realize that.
We do. We do. We have an incentive policy, and our Director of Finance, Jamie Roush, has that. So you can contact Jamie Roush at City Hall to get a copy of it. You can email me to get a copy of it, and I can email you the incentive policy. But the Board of Aldermen, they went ahead and said, you know, you don't even have to come ask us for this incentive policy. So this is what they've already approved, where it doesn't have to go to the board.
Right.
So we want to encourage businesses to, you know, invest in our community.
Good.
And we want some year-round businesses. And that's what I loved about the folks that were here from Las Vegas this last week, is some of the things they're talking about doing are tourism-based and some are not. So they're about creating some year-round jobs. Almost every project that they talked about would be year-round.
Oh, that's good.
So that's important. And, you know, one of the issues we have right now is finding workforce. So anybody who's watching from, I know people watch your show from around the country. You know, if you're wanting if you need a job, you're unemployed and you're willing to work and you can pass a drug test, you can find a job here.
There's plenty of jobs. Because we posted an article about the Chateau having an issue of trying to find local employees, and I had all of these people comment, that's not true. That's not true. There's so many people that want to work. But I know people at the Chateau, and they're like, we had one applicant for a job. And yesterday we were at a putt-putt, miniature golf, which we have a lot of those. But we love doing it. So we were at a miniature golf spot, and the owner there, Scott, at Greatest Adventures, said, if you know anybody that wants a job, we're willing to pay like $10 an hour for somebody to work here. And he said, I had open interviews on a Saturday. We had people call in and set up a time, and 2 or 3 people showed up, and then he never... that was it.
I was at Golden Corral yesterday, and he's like, if you know anybody, please have them come see me.
There are plenty of jobs if you want them.
And so we usually get folks from overseas for H-2Bs and J-1s, and they've limited the number of H-2Bs we can get this year. So one of the places we're looking to go to bring some folks into work is Puerto Rico, because it's not, you know, you don't have to have a passport, you don't have to have a visa to come and work, but we desperately need people to fill the jobs here.
And before people say, oh, you're giving away the jobs, like they're offering them to local people first.
Absolutely.
And
we would love our locals to come and
and we had a bunch of people, I don't remember exactly where they were from, but they worked for the city and the showboat and stuff. But they don't pay them less. Like there's a big misconception that they bring them in to save money and stuff. That's not true.
The same
minimum wage is, I'm not saying they're paying minimum wage, but I'm saying the laws apply when you're working in the U.S. So.
Yes, exactly.
So they're not stealing your jobs. You're just not applying for those jobs.
Please, if you need a job, please contact any of these folks, because
I'm sure the
Chateau, the Skoglund hotels,
they would much rather hire local people than to go through the bother of the paperwork and everything they have to do to bring people from out of the country.
Absolutely.
So it's a big misconception that people think that. So any outlooks for the coming year? Any spoilers that you can give us?
2017, I mean, we are already off to a great start. Our tax revenues are up for the year. And, you know, last year was a record year. So I'm always like, if we can maintain where we were last year, I'd be happy because we had a record year. Well, we're already outpacing last year right now. So it's just fasten your seatbelts, because it's going to be an amazing year.
Good. Any big new attractions?
The next 5 years is going to be so much fun. So much fun, because there are so many people that are setting the stage. I did meet with a couple of folks that are bringing in 2 new shows at RFD TV Theater.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes. One has tigers. It's a magic show with tigers. And then the other one is a rock show. Not like rocks that you throw, but rock musicians.
Yeah.
So, and then also from Las Vegas this summer is Raiding the Rock Vault is coming to Starlight theYear.
And they're redoing all of that.
It's beautiful.
New restaurant
getting basted. Best barbecue ever. It was so good. Deanna's. We have great barbecue here.
Oh, we do. And we have great other businesses, and we should talk about where we are real quick.
Yes.
A Juicy Smoothie. We got a Green Giant.
We are.
You got your
strawberry banana.
And they have a new location here at the Chappie Mall. And if people don't know where it is, it's right across from Regions on Commercial.
Yes.
And the construction is finishing
right there.
Yeah, it's right. You can see the construction.
And the construction is ahead of schedule. Yay.
Yeah.
Phase 2's ahead of schedule. Phase 3's ahead of schedule.
I know you inherited that whole thing. We talked about it last year.
Yes. And so now we are right on track. And
that's why they moved down here. So they moved down here, and you come and get your healthy drinks. Okay, they're healthy.
Or your non-healthy drinks.
That's healthy.
Yeah, strawberry banana, coconut milk.
They want to do this thing where, because they're pretty busy here, and they get a lot of the local business people in the area. So they want to do a thing where you can tweet in or comment or send them a message, and they'll have your drink ready, and then they want like a car hop thing.
Sweet.
So maybe like a spot out here. Isn't that a great idea?
Yeah.
So you pull up.
I don't have any control over the spots.
Well, I know, but I mean, I'm just telling the people, you pull up, and they run out, they bring you your drink.
I think it's awesome.
So,
there's also a little alley there that they can pull in.
There you go.
Where Blue Olive used to be.
Miss that place.
Yeah, I do too. That was a good one.
I know. It's a good restaurant.
I miss them a lot.
I do too. But be sure to go and vote, right?
April 4th.
April 4th. And so just vote, or else you can't sit and complain all the time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Very excited that the Tri-Lakes Board of Realtors and the Branson Professional Firefighters Association, Local 152, have endorsed me, Hart, and McConnell.
Big yellow signs, yeah.
So we're pretty excited about that.
That's great.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be talking to you next year.
Please.
All right. Well, go vote. This is Christopher James. This is Mayor Karen Best. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching us.
Have a great day.
At All Things Branson. Be kind to each other. Bye.